This video is about a Zen koan. The koan seems simple, but by the end, you may find that you've changed, or that the world around you has. A candle with flame, a second without. The first one lights the second, and the second goes out. That's it. Just 2 lines. Just a simple image. And yet, something about it stays with you. Like a dream you can't quite remember. Like something seen out of the corner of your eye. There. And then gone. What does it mean? Most people think they know right away. They rush to explain it. They want the answer. They want to feel smart, certain, in control. But a koan doesn't work like that. A koan isn't there to teach you a lesson. It's not a parable. It's not a moral. It's a mirror, a doorway, a trap. And if you walk through it too quickly, you miss everything. This short poem, this koan, has been used by teachers, philosophers, and martial artists to test the mind, to challenge the spirit, to shake loose the truth that words can't hold. Today, we're going to unlock it, but not right away. If I gave you the answer now, you wouldn't really hear it, because you wouldn't be ready. This isn't a video about explaining a poem. This is a journey, an initiation, and by the end, something inside you will have changed. But first you need to understand what a koan really is, what it's for, where it comes from, and why. Just 2 candles can tell you everything you'll ever need to know about teaching, legacy, identity, and enlightenment. So take a breath. Let go of your need to figure it out and walk with me for a while. Because the real meaning of this poem isn't hiding from you. It's waiting for you to see it. The nature of koans. Before we can understand the poem, we have to understand what it is. It's not just a line of poetry. It's not just a riddle. It's not a clever saying to impress your friends. It's something much older, much stranger, much deeper. A koan is a question with no answer, a puzzle that isn't meant to be solved. It comes from the Zen tradition, especially in Japan and China, where it was used as a spiritual tool, a way to train the mind by breaking it, not gently, not politely, but like a thunderclap on a silent mountain. A koan is meant to confuse you, to frustrate you, to stop your thinking mind in its tracks so something deeper can wake up. Monks would sit with a single koan for weeks, months, sometimes years, just one phrase, over and over again. They would meditate on it, breathe with it, dream about it, cry because of it, until one day something changed. Not in the koan, but in them. Koans aren't just puzzles to be figured out. They're fire to be walked through. And when you come out the other side, you're not the same person. That's the point. Not to get the right answer, but to let go of needing one. Some of the most famous koans sound like nonsense at first. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Does a dog have Buddha nature? If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Not knowing is most intimate. No knowing, not even not knowing. Some sound like riddles, others sound like jokes, but none of them are about words. They're meant to cut beneath logic, to pierce through language, to catch you off guard, so the deeper part of you, the part that knows without thinking, can finally speak. Koans don't teach facts. They teach awakening. They don't explain the world. They reveal how you see the world. They are not maps. They are matches. And when they are struck, they light something inside you. The function of koans is not to provide answers, but to provoke doubt and inquiry. They are tools for meditation, designed to break down conventional thinking and open the mind to deeper truths. By engaging with a koan, you confront the limits of your understanding, and in doing so, you touch the essence of reality itself. Koans are like mirrors, reflecting your own mind back at you, challenging you to see beyond the surface. They are, in essence, a journey into the unknown, where every step is an opportunity for awakening. And you know, in this journey, there is no final destination, only the continuous unfolding of insight and wisdom. If a koan isn't meant to be understood, then what is it for? Why would anyone spend years meditating on a riddle that refuses to answer? Why bother? Why sit in silence, staring at a single sentence for days, weeks, even years? Why wrestle with something that can't be solved? Because the point of a koan is not to give you something new to think about. It's to make you see what thinking cannot give you. A koan is not a lesson. It's not a rule. It's not a message to memorize or repeat. It's a pressure point pressed against your mind until the part of you that needs logic, reason, and control finally lets go. Imagine trying to drink from a cup that's already full. No matter how much water you pour in, nothing stays. The koan doesn't try to fill you up. It first empties you. It clears the mind of clutter until something still and quiet can rise to the surface. The mind is noisy, always comparing, analyzing, judging, naming. But the deepest truths don't live there. They live beneath that noise, in silence, in being, in presence. A koan invites you to that place. But first, it breaks the patterns that keep you away from that place. It's like trying to hold the wind. The harder you try to control it, the more it escapes you. Only when you stop chasing, when you stop trying to be clever, can the image appear. That's the paradox. You don't solve a koan. It solves you. It untangles the knots you didn't even know were there. It humbles you, opens you, reshapes how you see. And what comes out the other side isn't just smarter. It's wiser, calmer, more human. In Zen tradition, this is how the master teaches the student. not by handing over answers, but by handing over fire, something to burn through confusion until what's left is clear and still. This is why the koan exists, to be carried, to be questioned, to be lived, until finally the door opens and a new day dawns. So, how does something so small, just a few strange words, have the power to change a person? How does a koan actually work? The answer begins where most answers end, in silence. A koan doesn't speak to your thinking mind. It speaks to the part of you that lives deeper than thought. It slips past logic, past language, past everything you think you know, like a poem whispered in a dream. You don't understand it, but somehow you do. When a student is given a koan, their first instinct is to explain it, to be right, to impress the teacher. But in Zen, cleverness is a wall, and the koan is the hammer used to knock down that wall. The student wrestles. They become frustrated. They become angry, then quiet, and somewhere in that quiet, something shifts. Not in the koan. The koan hasn't changed. The student has. Koans work by interrupting the habits of your mind, the way you chase meaning, the way you label and box in the world. They untrain you so you can see freshly, directly, without filters. Imagine seeing the world not with your memories, not with your opinions, but like a child. For the very first time. That's what a koan unlocks. Not new knowledge, but a new kind of vision. A treasure chest isn't the treasure. It's the container for the treasure. A koan is the same. It holds something, but only if you let go of your need to control it. It's not about solving. It's about surrendering. When the student stops trying to beat the koan and instead surrenders and lets it beat them, that's when it begins to work. That's when the flame inside finally finds air. That's how koans work, not by explaining life, but by showing you what you've always known, but forgotten. Now that you know what a koan is, what it isn't, and how it works, let's return to the one that began our journey. But this time, don't rush to understand it. Let it come to you like fog rising from a still pond. A candle with flame, a second without. The first one lights the second, and the second goes out. What do you see now? Is it the same image you saw before, or has something shifted? The words haven't changed, but you have. That's the first sign the koan is beginning to work. The koan isn't waiting to give you meaning. It's waiting for you to be still enough to notice what was there all along. We will speak about this poem. We will explore its depth, but not yet. This is still the threshold, and thresholds are sacred. In many traditions, martial, spiritual, even scientific. True learning doesn't begin until the student has been emptied of what they think they know. This moment, the returning to the same koan with new eyes, is the first step into that deeper world. The first candle, the second, the mystery is still here. But now, you're finally ready to walk into it. You've heard the poem twice now. A candle with flame, a second without. The first one lights the second, and the second goes out. And maybe it has changed, not in form, not in words, but in what it points to. Now, let's begin to see it. So, we've arrived at the heart of it, the deeper meaning, the essence that lies beneath the surface. It's time to peel back the layers, to look beyond what's immediately visible. The poem, the koan, it's not just a riddle. It's a mirror, reflecting back at us our own understanding, or perhaps our lack thereof. The first candle, with its flame, represents knowledge, awareness, the spark of insight. The second candle, without flame, symbolizes potential, the unknown, the yet to be illuminated. When the first candle lights the second, it's an act of transmission, knowledge being passed on, awareness spreading. But the second candle going out, that's the mystery, the transient nature of understanding, the fleeting grasp we have on truth. And so, we return to the koan again and again. Each time, it's the same and yet different. Each time, we see a little more, understand a little deeper. This journey, this exploration, it's not about finding a final answer. It's about the process, the continual unfolding. The deeper we go, the more we realize how much more there is to discover. So, let's keep going. Let's keep questioning, keep exploring. Because in this journey, every step, every moment is a part of the deeper meaning. At first glance, it feels like a small scene, ordinary even. One candle lights another, the second goes out. That last line confuses people. Many think it means the second candle was extinguished, snuffed out, wasted, and sadly, at times this can be true. Others assume the flame transferred, and the first candle sacrificed itself to give its light. Some even mistake second for time, as if a brief moment passed where no flame existed. But none of those are the real truth. These are the kinds of false starts. Koans are designed to provoke. They reveal where your assumptions live, and they challenge you to go deeper. Let's read it again, slowly. A candle with flame. There is something alive, a source of energy, a center, a second. Without, there is another, ready, waiting, not yet lit, but full of potential. The first one lights the second. The flame is passed, not stolen, not divided, shared, multiplied. And the second goes out, not extinguished, but outward, into the world, to find its own place. The flame is not lost. The first candle remains, still doing its work. The second, now bearing the same light, has become something new. It carries the fire into the unknown. And so begins the journey. This is the story of all great teachings. In martial arts, it happens quietly. At first, the student imitates, they follow, they copy, they lean on the master's flame. But one day, something changes. The student begins to understand the movements. They don't just do what they were taught, they know why. The spark that once belonged to the teacher now lives in them, and then they go out into the world, not in rebellion, not in disrespect, but because the path demands it, to carry the flame elsewhere, to light others. This is the quiet purpose of all true masters, not to keep students forever, but to prepare them to leave. A child grows up and leaves home, not to abandon the family, but to start one of their own. That's what this poem is about. It's about legacy, transmission, trust. It's about the sacred responsibility to pass on what was given to you without losing it in the process. One flame becomes two, two become four, four become eight, and on it goes, an ever-widening ring of illumination. The cycle begins again. One becomes many, and each of the many becomes one to someone else. This is the eternal round, the sacred circle, the never-ending return of light to light. And yet, the first candle never left. It still burns, it still lights, it still teaches. This is the paradox. The teacher remains, the student becomes, and the path continues. And when the student becomes a teacher, they do not say, "Look what I created." They say, "Let me help you understand that the flame has always been inside you." That's the gift, not just to light someone else, but to awaken them to the fire they already carry. This is how all true teaching works, not by force, not by pride, but by humility, by care, by giving without fear. The flame doesn't shrink when shared. It grows, and in that growth, something eternal is born. By now, you've heard the koan. You've felt it. You've seen its shape. A candle with flame. A second without. The first one lights the second, and the second goes out. We've talked about teachers and students, training halls and quiet monks, parents and children, ideas and inheritance. But this isn't just a poem about learning. It's a map of humanity. Everywhere you look, this koan is playing out. Someone passed something to you, and now it's your turn to pass it on. It may have been a skill, a truth, a burden, a kindness, a fire. Whatever it was, you carry it now. The question is, what will you do with it? The legacy of light is, well, not just a story of illumination, but a journey through time and wisdom. For centuries, light has been more than just a physical phenomenon. It has been a symbol of knowledge, hope, and transcendence. From the flickering flames of ancient torches to the cutting-edge lasers of modern science, light has guided humanity through the darkest of times and into the brightest of futures. It reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, there is always a glimmer of hope. And so, as we continue our journey, Let us carry forward this legacy, illuminating the path for generations to come. This is how the world gets better, not through explosions, but through transmission, through flame, through one person lighting another, and then letting them go. The mistake many make is believing that greatness ends with them, that they are the final candle, that they must shine alone. But the truth is simpler and more beautiful. The only flame that lasts is the one that spreads. Ideas, like fire, are meant to move. They are meant to find dry wood, the kindling of minds ready to burn, not with destruction, but with purpose, with insight, with clarity, with heat. In the martial arts, there is no single end, no final form, no last kata. There is only the next generation, the next step, the next breath, the next student who walks through the door you leave open for them. You were lit by someone. You may not even know who. A teacher long gone. A parent who tried. A book you read when you were 12. A stranger who said the right thing at the right time and never looked back. Their light is in you now. And that's what legacy is. Not fame, not power, but illumination. The quiet spreading of truth from one heart to another. The moment you pass on what was once passed to you, and in that moment you realize it was never really yours. It was always meant to move forward. The first candle stays, the second goes out, and the world is never the same. So ask yourself now, whose flame lit yours, and who are you meant to light? A candle with flame, a second without. The first one lights the second, and the second goes out. This is one koan. There are 6 more. Each one, like this one, holds something waiting to be discovered. If you would like me to explore the others with you, let me know in the comments below. The path leads ever onward. Thank you for watching.